You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm still waiting on the Shaq Fu movie. I really am. My inner 13-year-old was so excited to play the game, and I knew just because Shaq was the hottest thing of that time period that it's going to be an awesome movie, so I was so giddy. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe not this year, or perhaps next year.
There's always hope.
We'll see. There is always hope. There really is. But we're going to be talking about, of course, video games that have been adapted to movies today. Thank you very much for joining us here at Cinemadness Podcast. I believe this is episode 8. Am I correct, Adam?
This is Quarantine episode 8, yes.
Quarantine episode 8. So today, of course, my name's Roman. I'll be saying hello to you and starting us off. But I am always joined with my two friends and colleagues. I have the ever lovely woman who should have been Princess Toadstool herself. That is Alison.
You're all going to die down here.
No,
that was so American.
I know.
You're all going to die down here.
But funny thing is, my prom date said the exact same thing. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
I want to know how
and
many
I'm
people
joined
down
with
there.
Well, it was a heck of a prom. Everyone was invited. Anyways, or was it homecoming? We'll find out. And we're joined by the man, the myth, the legend, who actually Raul Julia got in a fight with before Street Fighter. That's Adam.
Get over here.
I mean,
What? You just locked up.
so that wasn't much better than mine, so.
Yeah, but I tried at least. You're all going to die down here.
Well, so we are, of course, talking about movies. We're quoting movies, and that's going to be the main subject today, where we're going to be talking about how video games are going to be adapted, or how video games have been adapted to the cinema, and what is that effect? Can we do better? That's going to be some subjects that we're going to be talking about. But today we're going to get into some movie news. First and foremost, there's a couple interesting things that are going on, one relating to our subject. But before we begin, I believe we want to recognize a couple of our patrons. Is that correct, Alison?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're here too.
Yes, we have 2 new patrons. My dad, Bill, and Jason from Nick and Jason's excellent podcast. So thank you very much.
And they both are very active on our Facebook, so.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Bill has already let me know that I need to fix the lighting. So, Bill, sir, I hope this is good for you.
He's already helping.
Yeah, exactly. So now let's go ahead and move on. And we have some movie news before we get into some of the video game news. I know we're really excited to hear that the governor of California went ahead and green-lighted, if you will, the production of TV and movie industry. That's going to happen in June 12th of 2020 this year.
Not 2012.
No, not 2012, like our pre-meeting where I said, oh yeah, 2012. Yeah. But that's big news. So maybe we'll actually have some movie news coming out, along with those of us who are fans of the television as well. So, Alison, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because that means that TV is going to be back. And I guess that's what I was missing more. Just because you're allowing them to start production on movies doesn't mean the movie's coming out anytime soon. So I'm more concerned about when the movies are going to come out to the theater, like when I can go see the movies in the theater.
Riley's excited.
Yeah, Riley Allison's dog is very excited. He's chiming in, but please, one at a time, guys, one at a time. Adam, movie news, addition to the launching of 2012, I believe there was another bit of interesting news. Actually, yesterday was the 35th anniversary of Goonies, and you were a big fan of the film. If I recall, you oftentimes do the truffle shuffle.
All the time.
Whether or
I
not
did it in our pre-meeting.
Yeah, you did. So we'll go around the room. I want to hear Adam's take on 35th anniversary, and then I'm going to come back to Alison. Then we're going to talk about other movie news. But Adam, what does this say about 35 years of Goonies? What is the legacy of Goonies?
Well, I do have to say that I am proud that I did go see it 35 years ago in my infantile state. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan. So it's very influential to a lot of. I mean, we wouldn't have Stranger Things if it wasn't for the Goonies. We wouldn't have things like the Monster Squad, or I don't know. Would Stand By Me be around? And I know he wrote it. I know Stephen King wrote it before the Goonies, but would it be a movie?
That's the conversation that we can have when we talk about Stephen King. We could probably do 3 episodes on Stephen King adaptations alone. Alison, what's your take on the 35th anniversary of Goonies? Did you see it in an infantile state as well?
I did not, but I did go, I think either last year or the year before, for when they brought it back to theaters. I thought that was for an anniversary, but I guess I was wrong, because I don't know why you would do something for the 33rd or 34th anniversary. But I went and saw it. Fathom Events did it, and it was almost sold out, and it was just really cool. And yeah, I mean, the movie is timeless, and I really want my son to see it, but I don't think he'd quite get it yet. But I don't know. Hopefully he will soon.
Okay. Well, that's
Roman,
some
what do you
exciting
think?
stuff. Me, frankly, you're going to hate me, guys. The Goonies is good. I like it. I don't love it. I caught the Goonies. I started watching it probably when I was about 14. So I didn't hit it right when we were kids, so it doesn't mean as much to me as probably you guys.
You're already having your adventures.
Huh?
You're already having your adventures by then.
Exactly. Yeah. Monster Squad hits a deeper chord in my heart than Goonies because I was exposed to it at a younger age. So to me, it's a bigger deal for Monster Squad. To be blunt and honest with you. However, I can see the effect. I can see, the quotations. I can see the homages to it in film and also television. If you're going out with your friends, at least one person, whether or not they're inebriated or not, will say, "Hey, you guys," probably impersonating the sloth at least one time. That's how.
Which is an impersonation of the beginning of the Electric Company. Way back in the late 70s. Dating myself
okay.
now.
Nope. But I understand what you're saying. If I had watched the Goonies for the first time when I was 14, I would have been like, this is kind of lame.
This is for kids.
Like, I don't believe in pirates and treasure and, ghosts and all this silly stuff. So I get it.
Yep. At a younger age, you will believe in Martha Plimpton.
No, I believe in pirates. I was a big fan at 14. I was a big fan of Cutthroat Island, and Captain Blood. Oh yeah, Cutthroat Island.
Cutthroat Island. Even from a young age, though, I knew the brilliance and the gorgeousness of Josh Brolin.
Yes, Brandon Walsh
does nothing for me at all.
He has to be colored purple to do anything for you, Roman.
I told you that confidence, Adam. Thank you.
Anyways, I mean, you're the one that had his hand on last week.
Yeah, I did.
So.
Yep.
You don't remember last week's episode?
I do remember last week's episode.
No, Roman looks confused.
I don't remember you putting your hand. I don't remember you putting your hand on something purple. I'm lost.
I had the Infinity Gauntlet on.
Oh, that's right, you did. Yeah. Boy, you guys, wow. Way to bring it into relevance. Liking it. So why don't we continue on now? Adam, you had a bit of video game / movie news that I thought was interesting. I know we're going to talk about with Mortal Kombat is finishing up production. We were talking about production earlier. So why don't you touch on that? And I think you have another bit of information. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah, James Wan is either directing or producing, I can't remember, a new Mortal Kombat film. He's going to try to reboot the series, but he's doing it in his style of the hard R. Bye, Roman. There you are.
Hey.
And he promised that there will be gore and fatalities, so I'm excited. And it just finished its principal photography, so it's got
What
a
did you mean by what did you mean by his style of hard R? Almost everything he's done in the past is not hard R. He's done.
I meant like Saw.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he did one Saw.
Right, he did Saw.
You're right, but he also did crap like Conjuring.
Yeah, well, he didn't do Conjuring, did he?
I thought he did.
I don't know. You're
No,
probably
he
did
directed
Aquaman.
the Silence, the boy with the silence, Dead Silence.
Oh, Dead Silence. That was good.
Yeah.
But that was right off.
Yeah.
That was right off of his popularity of Saw. I like James Wan. His movies are hit and miss, but I like his style. Also, Eli Roth. All these horror people are getting into video games. Eli Roth is casting for a Borderlands movie. Borderlands. And he cast Kate Blanchett as Lilith the Siren from the original game. And I don't know if I'm okay with that, but I'll see how he does it because I trust in Roth.
Okay.
I know I can't really talk about it with you guys because you don't play Borderlands, but yeah.
No, but I played. I'm really big into the Pac-Man games. You just get me on one of those things at Pizza Hut. I just go around and eat all the cherries and the fruit.
I know what it's about. So wait, what's wrong with Kate Blanchett? She can do no wrong.
I understand that, and that's why I'm trusting him in it. She just seems a little too old for the character if they're going to be starting up the thing. But who knows? They might. It might be just a different story. Who knows what he's going to do? So I'm putting my faith into Roth because even his kids' movies are great. So
I'd put anything in Roth.
Go on.
And vice versa.
I love me some Eli Roth.
Yeah, you got the cabin fever.
I need him to go back to horror, though.
Yeah, and not torture porn horror, regular horror.
Anything horror.
Because Hostel was just garbage. Sorry, Eli.
No, it wasn't.
No, that doesn't reflect all of our opinions, Mr. Eli.
Yeah.
We also like Inglourious Basterds.
It was good. Yeah. He was one of the only good parts about Inglourious Basterds. You're right.
Nope. Not again. That's missed. It's a swing and a miss. Why?
See what he did there?
What did he say? Swing and a miss?
Eli Roth, swing and a miss.
Teddy ball became hit it out of the park.
Very good.
Yeah.
No. The Bear Jew.
But well, that's movie news. I know we're going to be doing a game today where we're going to be talking about the taglines or quotes in certain video game adaptations. So that should be very interesting. And the main topic, Adam, can you give us a preview of what we're going to be talking about after you take a sip? I timed that perfectly.
Yes, that was great. It's like when a waiter comes by and asks how your meal is. You're always in the middle of a bite.
Oh, we do that on purpose, actually. It's part of training. Yeah, we see that you're about to do it, and especially if you're on a date and we can tell that it's a good date that you have some hopes for, we purposely try to mess with you as much as possible.
Yeah, after our reviews in our game, we're going to be discussing video game adaptation movies, and it's kind of a negative thing that we're doing. I know we like to celebrate cinema, but there really hasn't been much positive in video game adaptation, so we're going to try to fix that. We're going to try to change the world and fix video game movies.
Yeah, you know what? I can't tell you how much that is needed right now to fix video game movies. It's clamoring. We're really
It's probably the most important thing going on right now.
Pretty much, nothing else is going on right now, at all. But so that's what we got going on, and I believe we're going to be ending the Zoomcast by actually talking about our website, which is launched. We'll be talking more into that, digging a little bit deeper. I'm really excited. But how about we take a break, reset, and nope, no, that's no.
Let's get into our reviews.
You know what? Yeah, that is absolutely correct.
He forgot about the movie he wants to review. It was
Totally
that
forgot
good.
about it. So maybe I should jump right into a fire and maybe talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah. So the movie that I'm going to be discussing today is called Playing with Fire. It's John Cena's rendition of the time-honored classic of a guy has to hang out with kids. We've seen this in Pacifier. We've seen this in Suburban Commando. We've seen this in No Reservations with Catherine Zeta-Jones, even though she's not a guy. It's basically a character who has to get out of their comfort zone and learn to not take themselves seriously. And this is basically the story that John Cena has to involve himself in. The film itself is nothing that we haven't seen. John Cena basically is doing a lot of good slapstick comedy. Showcases phenomenal physique. He is flanked by John Leguizamo, who's basically doing a impression of his character from Ice Age, but a real life version of it. Additional to Key and Peele's help me out, Keenan.
Oh, this brings us back.
Keegan
Michael
Key. Keegan Michael Keen is also in it, and his character, we've seen him, his type of character is pretty much nothing that we haven't seen before as well, where he's basically the sidekick to John Cena. He's a similar character to what he portrayed in Keanu. It's an enjoyable film. I saw it with my son. I caught it on Redbox, current platform that I caught it on. I meant to see it in the theater, but unfortunately I didn't get to it. Really, the thing that impressed me most about this film is actually he's portraying a smoke jumper. Up to this point, I've never heard of smoke jumpers. I thought they were part of the fire department. Had no idea what it was. So it was so impressive to see him portray this great department, or this great field of expertise. And it was so awesome to learn more. On my Redbox copy, there's a 5-minute mini film talking about what the smoke jumpers are and talking about the training. It was really cool to see. So I was very impressed by that. The film itself, again, there's no secrets. The kids that are flanking John Cena did a good job doing their kid role, which is usually creating a little bit of shenanigans that makes John Cena feel uncomfortable because it's out of his realm. You've also saw this in Kindergarten Cop as well, where, oh no, dress right dress, we're going to do this correctly, do this by the book. And you end up achieving a goal and saving the day. Really, in this film, there's no antagonist. So that's the only thing that's really naked on this film, is there no gargantuan conflict per se. It's just kind of guy who's a smoke jumper, finds kids in a burning building, finds out that he has to take care of them, and fun ensues. Oh yeah, by the way, his inspection to potentially get a promotion is coming up in 2 days, so the kids, of course, muck it up. So all in all, kids. Yeah, pretty much.
And you got to throw in a love interest too.
Yeah, the love interest in the mix. Yeah, the love interest by the character actress. She's been in a plethora of things. Redhead, I forget her name, unfortunately.
I do too, and I love her. What is her name?
Yeah, I didn't even see the movie. I have no idea.
It's gonna come to me. It also one of the girls, one of the kids was the girl who played Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and I felt like she was really bad in this movie. The older one, the older daughter.
That's a Negasonic Teenage Warhead?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I just felt like this is a paycheck for her. The movie is bad. The movie is bad. However, kids like it. my kid just thought it was the funniest thing in the world, like the fart jokes and the humor with the big guy that doesn't talk. And oh my God, he just thought it was hilarious. So they hit their mark with that. I don't like John Cena either. I think he's funny, but he's not funny in this kid role. He's funny when he's playing funny as an adult, like cock blockers and blah 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 blah.
When he's
And I don't like looking at him. He disgusts me. He's just ugh. So I don't know. But going back to the fire jumper people, I agree with you on that. Like, I felt that was very informative, and I think he donated his entire salary to the fires, because that was when the fires were going on.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, it was just
California brush fires in California. Yeah. Okay.
Not the California brush fires in Oregon.
No, not the California not the California brush fires in Idaho either.
I remember her name, Judy Greer.
Oh,
Judy
I love
Greer.
Judy Greer.
Yeah, she's a talented voice actress. Yeah. She's an Archer. I believe she's also the voice actress in Despicable Me 2 and 3, if memory serves me correct. She was solid doing her role, doing the romantic love interest thing. I personally liked it. I'd probably give it a solid B-. It sounds like you're probably not going to give it such a high grade, Allison. Is that correct?
I mean, for me, it was a C. If I was a 5-year-old child, I'd give it an A.
Yeah. My son, who watched it, who's 4.5-year-old, who's a 4.5-year-old, he'd probably give it an A+, or maybe a gold star, maybe a juice box. Who knows? But that's what we saw. Adam, do you have a movie to share with us today?
I do. I just watched the new animated feature. It's just like going over and over like a broken record. I watched the new Mortal Kombat animated movie, Mortal Kombat Legends, the Scorpion's Revenge is the full name of it.
Okay.
It was done by Warner Brothers Animation, who does all the DC animated movies. And the production value shows. It's a really well done movie. It's basically retelling the first Mortal Kombat movie from 1993, 92, the Paul W.S. Anderson movie. Anyway, it's redoing that, but it's got some of the new lore that they threw in with the video games and stuff. And better acting. Voice acting was fantastic. Johnny Cage is played by Joel McHale, and he was basically born to play Johnny Cage. At least voice wise, because he's a smarmy actor, and that's basically what Joel McHale plays all the time, is smarmy characters. But it's basically the original movie storyline about the tournament and all that stuff, redone, done better. But it's also told from Scorpion's point of view, on why he went from being this family man, father in a ninja clan, to an undead murder machine. And it's a very enjoyable film if you're a fan of the Mortal Kombat series. A lot of Easter eggs, a lot of characters in the background that you're like, oh, I recognize that person and stuff.
But was Goro in it?
Yes, Goro was in it.
All right.
So was Motaro.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just a lot of good things I could say about it. It's rated R. It's and it shows for profanity and very, very graphic violence, which you would expect from a Mortal Kombat movie. And I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I bought it, and I will probably watch it again.
Okay. So do you give it a grade or no?
Oh, I give it an A.
Okay. Excellent.
I would give it a higher grade if it did a little bit more with the new lore that they brought in from the newer video games. But from a standpoint of it being the original story from the first game and the first movie, yeah, I give it an A.
Okay. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I watched the original Mortal Kombat film going, what's Scorpion's storyline? What's going through his head? What's his more motivation when he says, get over here, come here? So I'm really excited to get those answers finally, or those questions finally answered. Yeah. And
you should do that with all the characters.
They should.
Because like I don't give a crap about Johnny Cage. I know where he came from, and I don't care about Sonya and all those people. Like, what? I didn't know that he was a family man. Who would have known that?
They did a really cool. I know we're going off script here and off subject, but they did a really cool web series. It was called Mortal Kombat Legacies, and it was done so well. It had Michael J. White playing Jax. It had some really high names in it. It was just a free web series that was made, and it was so well received. They did a second season, and then New Line was like, "Well, we want you to do the new movie," and then that got all messed up because New Line doesn't know what they're doing anymore. So it's still on YouTube, and it's really well done. More like an updated thing. Like Raiden is not really the God of Thunder. He's in an asylum thinking that he's this god character, and it's just a really cool alternate take on the Mortal Kombat universe as if it would be in reality. So
Okay.
I would recommend that.
All right. Well, that's definitely something that I think I might check out. Alison, when you played Mortal Kombat, who was your go-to character?
Scorpion.
Scorpion?
Mhm.
Okay.
Why are you shaking your head?
I don't get the Scorpion appeal. He's like the most
It was
popular
e-
character.
It was either Scorpion or Sub-Zero. I don't know. That was like 1995. I don't what? Now when I play it now with my 5-year-old, and I don't pick them. Yes, he plays Mortal Kombat. And I usually am depending on which one he plays, I'm either Sonya or Raiden. And then in the newer one, what's the one with the ponytail lady?
Shiva?
Shiva? Yeah.
Oh, you mean Sindel, the one with the whipping hair?
Yeah, Sindel. She like takes people with her ponytail and slams them across the room. Yeah.
So I think I can figure out why Sub-Zero and Scorpion were so popular, because it was the easiest ones to mash the buttons and create the come get over here. You know, I can still remember it. It's back, forward, square. Back, forward, square.
It's true.
Yeah. So I can remember that all these years, at least on my console. So maybe that's why. Perhaps Adam, who was your favorite character?
Oh boy. It depends on the game. Mortal Kombat 1, it was Sub-Zero. Mortal Kombat 2 was Reptile. Mortal Kombat 3, just because I'm a cheap bastard, it was Cabal.
Okay.
And now on the new Bye Roman.
You kicked Roman out.
Now on the newer ones, like 9, 10, and 11, I'm a big sucker for Johnny Cage.
Okay.
Holy crap, there's 11 Mortal Kombats now?
Yep.
Good Lord.
I'm a big fan of the Mortal Kombat versus DC characters. I was a big fan on that. I was a big Kano fan. The guy with the steel
Terminator
face.
eye.
Yeah, I recall, this is my memory, my brother may remember it different, pissing my brother off because I was actually pretty good with him. And my brother's 4 years my older, so naturally he doesn't want me to beat him. And whenever I would, he would always claim that I was cheating. So, but that's just, me figuring out how to do the codes real quick by actually reading books that they had, at the bookstore. I didn't tell my brother that, so surprise, bro. Just saying.
Yeah, I had handwritten notes that were just passed around throughout school, and everybody copied them.
Wow. So that was the hip thing. It's like, hey, you're passing things. Like, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Fighting games were huge when I was in high school. What's happening, Roman?
My world's getting shaken up. Sorry about that. I was trying to go for a sight gag and grab like a cue card. Go. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah,
totally
backfired on you.
Yeah, the payoff is not there. But
doesn't Skrillex have a song called Reptile?
Yes, that was from Mortal Kombat 9. They did it was like a compilation album, and Skrillex did the Reptile song.
Yeah, that song's good.
That's what got me into liking Skrillex, was that song.
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I'm cognizant of Skrillex. Thank you to Alison's husband. I'm cognizant, but
Flawless victory.
He goes,
I'm going to grab my glow sticks.
You guys will make fun of me.
Yes. I'm going to grab my glow sticks and have some fun. Put some black light.
No.
Wait,
No.
Mike can't handle KMFDM. How can he handle Skrillex?
Yeah, Skrillex isn't that hardcore. He was
It's
in
more
Spring
hardcore
Breakers.
than KMFDM.
We know Skrillex from Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
That awesome movie.
Yeah, real quick side story. When Alison was pregnant with her kid, Mike called me up and Mike called me up and asked to help paint the room, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome! It's an honor to help paint the baby's room. And the music that he chose to put on was, house, EDM or whatever you kids call it. I call it techno, and I'm just thinking, wow, this is a Bonnie thing. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, of course, naturally, I say, hey, Mike, are they ever going to switch a song? And he goes, no, this is a song.
It's true.
Well, if we ever talk about Hook, I have a great Skrillex story that Allison's heard 1,000 times.
And on that note, let's take a break.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Decide to step up to this kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing feeling. When you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come, the games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
All right, it's good to know that restraining order that Adam has against me has not currently taken effect. I am back, and I'm about to play a game with my two favorite cohorts, co-workers, co-friends, whatever. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play a game called Quotes or Taglines. It's going to be really riveting. So basically the goal of this game is very simple. I'm going to give a tagline or quote from a particular film. All the films have in common with today's theme of their adapted video games that have been made into movies. So I'll give the tagline. If I'm noticing that you guys are having a little bit difficulty coming up with an answer, I'll go ahead and throw you another gem, such as the year it was made and a star in the film is what I'm going to do. So here's a sample question. Or the sample question, so I'm going to give you a tagline. The tagline for this particular film will be as follows. Sonic is blue, Earth needs a hero, a hedgehog will do. A hedgehog became a hero.
Hellraiser.
Go ahead, Hellraiser. Very close, but you're wrong. You're absolutely 100% wrong. Other clues would be 2020 and Jim Carrey.
Did they all start with the name of the video game and or character in the first clue?
Or title of the movie?
No, it actually starts with the actual tagline or the quote. Okay. Yeah. So the answer to the sample question was Sonic the Hedgehog. Close.
Damn it.
All right. So let's have some fun. I got 7 questions for you. As always, audience, what we're going to do is if they get it correct, I'll give them 1,000 points. The person with the most points gets a rant.
Oh, shit. We don't have a guest.
Ooh.
Oh,
it's gonna be you too, my friend. Better start thinking now.
Oh, yes. So let's go ahead and have some fun. Alison, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Adam, are you ready?
Wait. Ask me again.
Alison, are you ready?
I'm ready, player one. Because it's video game related.
Adam, are you ready?
I guess I'm player 2. Wait, we should do like
Listening land, are you ready? All right. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with question number 1, which is actually going to be a quote. A quote, hence quotes or taglines. And the quote is as follows. You're the same as me. Untie yourself. That's the quote. So I'm going to give
Try it again without feedback.
Can you say it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
The quote is, you're the same as me. Untie yourself. All right. Other clues. It is from 2007, and it stars Timothy Olyphant.
The Hitman. No.
Yeah.
Yes, good job, The Hitman with Timothy Olyphant. It was, I believe, a 16 rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
Oh, I liked the film. It was good.
I like the other one better.
Oh, the 47? I thought that was
47.
trash.
Well, there we go.
I wasn't a big fan of it. But, you know... All right, so 1,000 points goes to young Alison. Thank you very much. Here you go. Let's go ahead and keep the good vibe going. So the tagline is as follows. A man with nothing to lose. A man with nothing to lose.
Max Payne.
Very good, Adam. Max Payne in 2008, starring Mark Wahlberg. Max Payne. Very good. All right.
And Mila Kunis.
Yes, Mila Kunis. We're probably going to lose our rating if we say her name too much. All right. So we have the next question will be as follows. Here's the tagline. Enter a survivor horror. Evil is only a word. The reality is much worse.
Resident Evil?
Very good, Adam. Resident Evil from 2002, starring Michelle Rodriguez. That's all I'm going to say because she's beautiful.
Resident Evil what, though? That wasn't just Resident Evil.
Yeah, it was Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was Resident Evil. Good job, Adam. 2,000 points. Go to Adam. You're coming out.
No, miss, you're all going to die down here.
I didn't think Michelle Rodriguez was in that one.
She turned at the end, too.
I tend to forget anything that she's in.
No. Daddy's having a moment. Give me a moment.
Ew. She has the same last name as you.
And you said daddy.
Ew.
Now I'm feeling very dirty. Thank you both.
Now I got a Superman story going on.
Number 1, okay, just because she has the same last name as me doesn't mean anything. It's Rodriguez. It's like Smith, okay?
It's like Corcovalis.
Yeah, like Corcovalis.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I run into Corcovalis.
There is another Adam Corcovalis out there.
Really? Okay.
He's my nephew.
Does he actually like Hitman the original and he agrees with me?
No, he's kind of a douchebag, but we're not going to talk about that.
Okay. All right. So you guys are friends, huh?
Oh, yeah. We're good friends.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to go on to question number, I believe this is 4. Here's the tagline. When the lights go out, the terror begins.
Alone in the Dark.
That's not what I was going to say.
Yes, Alone in the Dark. Good job for reading the information as I gave it to you.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an old PC game that was made into a movie by Uwe Boll.
Yeah, in 2005, starring Christian Slater.
And Tara Reid.
Oh, man. Christian Slater movie I haven't seen.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it's not worth watching.
Yeah, I believe it's a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's Uwe Boll, one of the worst filmmakers that ever existed.
I'm not familiar with him.
I have a story, but we'll talk about that when we get into the video game thing, because that's all he does is video game movies.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that more maybe after the game in about, I don't know, 3 more questions. Just saying. All right. So, Adam, you got 3,000 points. Allison, you have 1,000 points. But it's still anybody's game, Allison, so hang in there. All right. The next one is a tagline. The tagline is as follows: be afraid. Be very afraid. No, you need more? Okay. It was released in 2003, and it stars the ever great Clint Howard.
And a video game movie.
It's a video game movie. Be afraid, be very afraid.
House of the Dead?
Very good! House of the Dead. Way to go, Adam.
Another Uwe Boll movie.
They made a movie about House of the Dead?
Oh, it's awful.
Oh my God.
I believe they made two. Yeah, the first one was absolutely horrible. But you know what? Someone worked very hard to put that together, so more power to them. I personally thought it was not very good. But if you like it, great. High five to you. All right, 2 more questions. Really riveting stuff. Adam has 4,000 points. Allison has 1,000 points. 1,000 points going to Allison, but that's okay. I think I may up the ante for points for the last question for you, Allison, so just saying. All right, here we go. The tagline will be as follows: at the edge of the universe, all hell is about to break loose.
Doom.
No, you're incorrect. It was released in 1999. Allison, you can go for the seal. Allison or Adam, you be quiet. And it's starring Freddie Prinze Jr. 1999. It's not Doom.
G.I. Joe. No, that's not a
That's not a video game.
I have no idea.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh,
Okay.
Battleship. No.
No.
That's still not a video game.
I know. I don't want to play anymore.
Oh, player one's quitting. Oh, no. I guess it's not ready Player One. So that means the house wins. That is Wing Commander. 1999 Wing Commander.
Hey, if you would have said Matthew Lillard, I would have gotten it.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. I always mess up on his name, so I didn't want to embarrass myself. Yeah.
Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. pre-Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm. Pre-Scooby-Doo. That was when their heart are in the peak of their fame. They were really hot. I actually saw that film in theaters.
I did too,
Yeah.
and I left very sad and quiet.
Oh, I loved the video game. I thought the video game was so awesome with Mark Hamill and the guy who played Biff.
And Malcolm McDowell, he was in it too. He was the general.
Yeah. Am I thinking of the correct game? Tia Carrere was in it too. Am I thinking correct, or am I off base?
I don't remember. Last time I played it, it was on a CD-ROM. So.
So last week.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, naturally. All right. Well, that takes us to our last question. The house gets 1,000 points. Alison has 1,000 points, and Adam has 4,000 points, unless he's using any performance-enhancing drugs. Are you clean, Adam?
It's all up here.
Okay, so that's a yes. But I'm going to make this interesting. If we get this answer correct, either you or I, Allison, we're going to make it 1,000,000 points. There you go. All right, let's have some fun with this one. So here's the tagline. It's going to be very interesting. And it is: the ultimate battle is about to begin.
Mortal Kombat?
It is not Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter?
Yes, Street Fighter. Good job, Allison. Way to go.
Wait, I'm only allowed one answer?
I didn't hear you. Did you chime in? I only heard one answer from Allison. I'm sorry. It might be a connection issue. Yeah. Good job, Allison. Way to go. Congratulations. Player one wins. Way to go with 1,000,000 points versus Adam's 4,000 points. You got killed, Adam. Just saying. Just saying. Good job, Allison. Way to play the game, if you will. So you get the rant. Go ahead and rant your eyes out. Go ahead.
Nope. I didn't win. Give it to him.
You won. You gotta have
I'm not ranting.
Have this rant.
I'm not ranting.
I don't want to rant tonight. We give it to Roman.
Then we don't have to rant.
All right. I will rant. 30 seconds. I just want to take a minute to say how happy I am to have our website out. I'm looking forward, and it's really opening some doors to doing some great articles where I can rant via the keyboard. I'm looking forward to doing some things, some segments, maybe exploring some older films that still have some relevancy today. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I hope you guys are too. There's my rant. Boom.
And we're looking forward to it too. More to come at the end of this show.
Crap, we gave Roman an open forum.
Oh yes. Yeah. For those of you who watch this, thank you very much for enduring yourself to us. So we appreciate it. But for those of you, for those of you who watch this, truth is, like, they keep on telling me, "Hey, we're meeting here," and I show up, and they never show up. And I'm like, "Hey guys, what happened?" You know, and they go, "Oh, sorry, you must have got the address wrong." So, yeah.
That's not true.
So,
Yeah, isn't it weird after quarantine we started inviting you to movie theaters like all the time now?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's so weird. And what's strange is you guys never show up. It's like, oh man, sorry, traffic.
I mean, you didn't say that the movie theater actually had to be open. You just wanted to be invited on Movie Tuesdays.
So we just invite you on Tuesdays.
We hang outside of the movie theater waiting.
Eating tacos.
With our masks and everything.
I must have missed you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was the only one in the parking lot, so maybe I must have missed you guys. Maybe. Yeah. But here's what we're not missing. We're going to go jump right into our main subject. I'm going to go ahead and pass the wonderful warm baton to my friend Adam.
Ooh,
Adam.
The warm baton.
Why is the baton warm?
Because it's in my hand. It's in my hand. Where the hell did you think I put it, you sicko? So why don't you get yourself off this crazy thing and press X button to get us to the next subject. What is the subject?
Skipping the cutscene. Haha, see what I did? Video game knowledge. Well, let's talk about video game adaptations into movies. And let's try to fix what's wrong with them. If you know me, you know I try my damnedest to be super positive about everything. Everything movies.
There you go.
I always live by the statement, there's no such thing as a bad movie. There's just different taste in art, because art is subjective. Unfortunately, video game movies are really hard to live by that rule, and tonight we're going to try to fix that. I have a list of things that I have found wrong with video game movies that can be fixed, and I think we should talk about each one. It's only 3 or 4 of them, and then we can go into more positive stuff, but I want to talk about these 3 things. One is casting. Hollywood does not like to cast based on the character. They like to cast based on Hollywood fame. And there are a ton of actors that could do the role right and basically get a big break, as it were, for a video game movie. Bad casting, in my opinion, are examples like Mark Wahlberg in Max Payne, Tara Reid as a scientist in Alone in the Dark, and Jake Gyllenhaal playing a Persian in Prince of Persia. Those are big names, and they do not fit what the character has established to be. Well, that's my first thing. Let's talk about casting. Do you think a big Hollywood name is something that you'd want to see to carry a video game movie?
So hold on, before we start going through all these, since I don't know diddly squat about most video games, I'm going to play the part of a normal person that just goes to see movies.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to say yes, because if I don't know, you know, Prince of Persia, Sand of Time, or whatever like that. I don't know what that is, but I know Jake Gyllenhaal. And, you know, as a female, I think Jake Gyllenhaal is super hot. So yeah, I might be interested in going to see that movie. So a lot of your audience is going to be drawn to whoever you cast. And if you cast a no-name person, I might not be that interested because I don't know the story, unless you make the trailer look really good. But it's going to be more appealing to me if I know somebody in the movie. It's no denying that casting isn't a draw.
Okay, I'm not saying no names as the main characters. I'm just saying cast to the character. Don't cast to the popularity.
Okay, but I don't know the character.
Right.
As the person that I am. So I get what you're saying, that you absolutely should be casting to the character. It's no different than casting for a book adaptation.
Right. And a good example is Mickey Rourke in Sin City. He is perfect as Marv because he's the right build, the right face, the right voice, the right everything. And there are A-rated, AAA-rated actors that can do probably better jobs than what they're doing. Just because someone says, "Hey, I want to do this project." Well, you can see studios can say no to people, and I just don't think they do.
Okay. I have a different take than Alison, only slight. I'm trying to think. Basically, when a video game is being made, one of the reasons why, when a video game is being made into a movie, one of the reasons why it's being made is its popularity, right? It's a very popular film. Exactly. So the problem is, what will get people to the box office that will still appease the fan base that made this game popular, but also bring someone like Alison, who's below myself in the screen. I don't know where she's at when this is produced, but we'll also get her into the box office and keep her entertained. It's a very delicate decision to get someone who can be a draw but also appease Adam. So,
well, I think on your point, Alison nailed it, saying give me a trailer that'll appeal to me. It might not have the actors that you like, but trailers have a very hypnotic appeal if they're done right, and that could get an interest to someone that you didn't think could be a Prince of Persia or a Max Payne, and there you go.
Well, yeah, and that's true because I've never played any Silent Hill game, but the second I saw the trailer for that, I was hooked because I like horror. Right. So, I mean, the movie was good as a movie, but from what I hear, it wasn't good as a video game adaptation.
Right, it was not close at all to Silent Hill.
But the trailer was like, oh, this just looks like a cool horror movie. I don't care about the video game. So yes, you'd have to have a decent trailer to bring people who aren't familiar with it in.
Right, and a trailer could make or break an actor as well in the role, like the new Tomb Raider movie. The trailer was very reminiscent to the new rebooted Tomb Raider movie games that came out by Square Enix, but the woman that they got to play Lara Croft, though she looked like the character, she didn't have the acting chops for it. So that's also an argument or a point in your argument as well, because it's not the actor. I can't remember her name. It's
Alicia something.
Yeah, Alicia. She became kind of popular, and then she got the role as Lara Croft, and it didn't do very well.
Yeah.
Question real quick. A video game, it usually makes or sells what, maybe 100 million units, or is that a big stretch?
It depends on the video game itself. I mean, AAA titles, yes, they go 1 million a day. Indie games, which are also just as popular, don't hit that high, but they get the critical praise. Yes, so we'll we'll stick strictly on AAA titles because of your statement.
Okay, so my concern the three of us were producing a film, okay, and we get a hot script and it's to do Last of Us. Okay, we get the hop and we're going to do Last of Us.
I know that game.
Hey, so the three of us were going to produce it. We're talking about it now. My concern, being in the room with you guys, is even though it's a popular game, what can I do to get the $1 million that just paid for Last of Us into to give us more money? What can we do? Those are realistic questions. And Adam says, well, let's go ahead and be true to the character. And Alison wants just the trailer, something to give a sexy trailer to bring someone like herself in. Whereas me, I want a guarantee in my investments, so I want the biggest name right now to try to pull people into the seats. Because as much as I know Alison may be good with a good trailer, and as much as I know Adam wants to have someone who's true to the character, I want a return on my investment. So you're darn right, I'm going to call Will Smith to play for that lead because I know that he has a fan base. So that's what I think is a conversation that's being held in Hollywood. And unfortunately, that can be a damning conversation. Alison, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
No, and I don't know if this goes, if we're getting ahead of ourselves on his list, but one of the main problems with why these movies fail is because I don't think they have a big enough budget. But why would you give a studio a huge budget because of the track record of these movies? And another point is, if I want that big of a budget, I'm going to tell you the reason why I think you're going to get your money back, sir, is because I have Channing Tatum in my movie and he brings in people and he's going to bring in money, as opposed to so-and-so that just, auditioned, and although he's perfect for the part, he's not going to draw people. So you have to do a little give and take, because you're not going to make any money on your investment if you just hire a bunch of no-name people just because they're perfect for the part.
Mm-hmm. So when you bring up Channing Tatum, I'm going to ask, is he willing to take off his shirt in this role?
Sure.
All right. So that's your first point. What else you got on the list, Adam?
Well, going back on your last statement, actors, AAA actors, and lesser known actors. It, like you said, as studios go around. What, Roman?
Sorry, I don't mean to take away your thunder. You mentioned AAA a few times. I don't know if everyone out there watching this is familiar with the phrase. Can you please just let us know what AAA is?
AAA is just high grossing, high popularity. You say, like, as for example, you said Last of Us. It's a AAA game. It costs multi-millions to make. Same with actors. Say once again, as your example, Will Smith. He's a AAA actor. He costs millions to put in your movie.
Okay.
Using AAA actors instead of lesser known actors. Yeah, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing, because you're gonna have the people that'll be like, oh, I really want to see it because this person's in the movie, and then you'll have the people. It's basically the Suicide Squad effect. These people aren't right for the role, and I don't want to see the movie, and I didn't like it because it's not what I expected it to be. And you can't find a happy medium when it comes to adaptations. And that's why I'm a firm believer in casting for the part, not for the popularity. But I can also see Alison's point of view, where you're going to lose money. Say if you cast a Duplass over a Channing Tatum.
Okay. All right. I'm liking the list so far. You definitely got
number one was done.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Number two is taking liberties with the source material. I have a big problem with this. Movies like Resident Evil, Super Mario Brothers, and Wing Commander have nothing to do with what the source material is, and it turns off a lot of fans of the movie or of the video games. And that's really who they're trying to get in, because these games bring in millions of copies, and they want those millions of copies in the seats. And I don't understand why it's so hard to take the story that's already been established and put it into a movie instead of trying something new. You know, save that for the sequel.
Okay. All right. Well, to that, I'm putting myself now. We were in the production room. We were executive producers. Now we're in the writing room. Okay. The three of us are now writing. So you come up and you're the head writer, Adam, or you're the producer, and you say, hey, Alison, Adam, Roman, I want you to write this script. Here's the story of the game. Just adapt it. So maybe there's some budget restraints. You know, maybe we can't do it. Maybe we can't travel across the universe as the original game had in place. Maybe we have to do certain things. Maybe there's contractual obligations. Maybe there's a couple of things underneath that we don't realize. So it's one of those catch-22s. We want to make the movie, but we want to make it with certain constraints listed.
But
and I think
here's my counterpoint to that.
Yeah.
Using Wing Commander as an example, they basically used everything they could with the original source material, except they turned the Kilrathi from a group of anthropomorphic lion people into these weird lizard people for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, I don't have a counterpoint to that. That's a great counterpoint. For those of you who haven't seen Wing Commander, there's basically what Adam stated. They took a character that was listed in the actual CD-ROM video game and twisted it for cinematic purposes for whatever reason. I don't know.
Well, there
if
has
there's
to be a reason. So when you buy the rights to Resident Evil, you
Okay.
who is that? Like
Capcom, yeah.
Capcom? Okay.
Yeah.
I get points for that. So you pay for the right to make a Resident Evil movie. When you pay for that, does Capcom say, cool, you have everything we've done from Resident Evil, you own the names, the everything, the scene, the sets, the story, all the way down to what she says. Do they own everything?
Yeah, absolutely. They are the studio that created it, so they have all of they own the IP basically.
No, not Capcom. If I'm Universal and I go to Capcom and I'm like, I want to buy Resident Evil and make a trilogy, and Capcom's like, okay, cool, pay me, and I pay them, do I, as Universal, have the right to everything Resident Evil?
Yep.
Okay, because what I was going to say is maybe for Wing Commander, they weren't able to make those exact creatures and they had to tweak it a little bit, and that's why it looked different. That's the only thing I could think of, because I don't understand why you wouldn't be like legit to what the story is.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of was it was 99 and Monsters Inc. hasn't come out yet, so they can't do real fur. And that's all I could think of, was that they just could not animate lion people the right way, and they felt like we'll change it to lizard people.
Make it easier on them. It doesn't give them it doesn't help the excuse of Resident Evil, which was nothing like the game.
Mhm.
And I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't like that it's not about Chris Redfield or any of the characters, Jill Valentine or anything. It's about this character that Hollywood made up. What's her name? Mila Jovovich's character. I can't think of her name. Alice.
Alice.
Yeah, she had she has nothing to do with the Resident Evil games. She was never, ever, 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 never in any of the 7 games. And even though the first movie was fun, it was a fun movie. It's still one of my favorite action zombie movies. It's not Resident Evil. It's not a survival horror movie.
Okay.
All right, and that's that. Let's move on to one more problem I have with video game movies that could be fixed easily. And that's costuming and makeup. I don't understand what is so hard about making decent costumes to reflect movies. For an example, the second Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, looked like that they were wearing Halloween costumes that they got at the Spirit Halloween store. It is one of the worst examples of trying to continue on with a story that I've ever seen visually. Also, Street Fighter had really bad costumes and makeup, and the Abobo in Double Dragon was just awful. Also blonde. What's her name from Who's the Boss? Alyssa Milano. Did not work for me. So yeah, I'm still sticking with Mortal Kombat Annihilation as my biggest gripe of costuming.
I just picture costumes from the 80s that we used to wear, where they were like the,
yes, with
the
plastic mask.
And they had the logo on your chest.
Yeah.
Of what you were wearing.
Like I just picture like a plastic like scorpion like mask. Which, by the way, we should have gotten masks. They have masks right now that you can go outside and wear that look like Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
They're real expensive though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Mortal Kombat Annihilation had some of the worst costuming and makeup I've ever seen.
Okay, but you're going back to when was that? 90s? Late 90s?
Yeah, it was more like late 90s, like 99. You know, when you know, we had The Matrix and Phantom Menace.
I understand what you're saying, but you need to like fast forward. So like isn't what was that movie that came out a couple years ago? Like the pirate. He looks like a pirate. What is his name? It was Michael Fassbender.
Assassin's Creed.
Yes. Didn't he look like the character? I mean,
well, he didn't look like the character because he was his own character, but yeah, he
wasn't even the main character?
No.
Oh.
The whole idea of Assassin's Creed is different assassins throughout the different eras.
Well, yeah, but he played one of the assassins in one of the games?
No, he played his own character.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you make up your own character?
There we go. That's more not sticking to the source material. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Alison.
Alison,
I'm going to call you Alison.
Let Roman talk.
Oh, I'm used to it by now. No. Alison,
anyway, like I was saying.
No problem. So basically what they did with Michael Fassbender's character is they essentially did the Mila Jovovich routine where they basically invented a character that's not really involved in the source material, i.e. the video game, and they basically introduced the world of Assassin's Creed, but we're using the platform of Michael Fassbender's character to explore that world. The same way we explored the world of Resident Evil, if you will, in Mila Jovovich's character.
That's
which
dumb.
Well, no, I know for a fact that I think Adam personally enjoyed being inside of Mila Jovovich for 2 hours.
I don't have anything to say about that.
They didn't even go to Raccoon City until like the third one.
The second one, and there was no zombies in it. I have so much. I could talk about Resident Evil movies forever, but I don't want to.
No, that's dumb about the Assassin's Creed thing. I don't understand that.
Well, real quick, it can, if I may, just for a second, it goes to what we were talking about previously is budget restraints. I honestly feel it could be, where can we make this film under $10 million? And usually in almost every production, the first thing to go is costume and makeup, because it doesn't really matter what you have the main characters in, as long as you're not doing some sort of timepiece, if you will. So that's one of the first things to go in terms of budget. We can spend a little bit more in other areas such as CGI or effects, but costume and makeup sometimes.
But that has nothing to do with the story. And I just proved that they did have some kind of budget because I thought that he looked like the pirate guy from the video game, because I remember distinctly his outfit looked like a pirate guy, and I thought it was the same guy that was in all of the video game boxes with whatever his name is. So no, I don't buy that because they spent money on his outfit.
Okay, first, there was never one character throughout the entire Assassin's Creed, aside from Ezio, and they were offshoots of one character. Every Assassin's Creed game had a different character, and only one of them was a pirate.
No, did Ezio? There is a pirate.
Yeah, Edward Kenway. He was in part 4.
Yeah, real quick, I heard a couple. Sorry, Adam. Real quick, I heard that in one of the games there's a cop, in one of the games there's an Indian, in one of the games there's a construction worker.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, you were saying to
all meet up at the YMCA while joining the Navy.
Yes, and then they joined the Navy.
That's right. Yeah. Let's going back to Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I don't know where the budget went. There was no actors that they needed to pay high budget to. 2, the CGI was terrible even for its day. 3, the effects that they used, the practical effects that they used was just ungodly bad. The blue screens were bad. The green screens were bad. The costumes were bad. The acting was bad. Everything about the movie was bad except for the soundtrack. And I guess all the money went into the soundtrack?
Because Skrillex.
It did not have Skrillex, not in this one.
Oh, my bad.
This one had Rammstein.
Oh, well, they didn't have to pay Rammstein.
Oh, yeah, so work for free because they're Rammstein, right? Yeah.
It's because they're foreign? Is that what you're saying?
They don't care.
Well, maybe the conversion from the Deutschmark to dollar was different then. Who knows?
It was pre-Euro, so there you go.
Yeah. But Mortal Kombat Annihilation, in my opinion.
Oh, now you're on the bottom. You've moved.
Sorry, I had to fix my light.
She's switching up on us. But yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, in my opinion, is one of the worst sequels ever.
It's one of the worst video game movies ever, aside from the Uwe Boll movies.
Okay, all right, but what I guess we're kind of ending on your third point, unless you got anything else for the costume.
No, that's what I just wanted to talk about how costuming and makeup is a bad part of what makes video game adaptations have this bad stigma, because they won't put the effort into it.
Okay. All right.
Well, fix it. How do you fix it?
By putting effort into it.
No, fix everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my list of things that'll help. There are 5 of these. One of them we've already talked about, which is the cast of the character, not the actor, and we talked about that. But my number one thing is, and it's gonna be called pandering, because it's what it is. Give in to fan service. People, the majority of people going to see these movies are fans of the video games, and they want to see what they played, and changing it up and not throwing in little Easter eggs and stuff is a stupid idea, I think.
Okay. All right.
Fan service is a big part of an adaptation.
Okay. But here's the counterpoint to that, and we kind of made this argument, is I want to try to get my budget back. And if only 200 people are buying the game, or 100 million people are buying the games, and I got a budget of $150 million, hypothetically speaking, I'm going to be in the hole 50 million. So I kind of almost want to make a homage to the Hitman, if you will, but I also want to make a good movie. So what I may do is have some hints of the Hitman. So therefore, you being the avid movie Goop player will not be disappointed, but I can also get Alison to come to the theaters because I made a really awesome trailer. So it's kind of almost paying homage to the source material, almost like The Shining, where you take the source material and you make it close enough so therefore I'm not alienating the Stephen King's readers, but I can get the horror fans, Alison, into the seats. So I can get you both together and hopefully make a lot of money.
Okay, that's absolutely not what I was saying, but I appreciate your input. Like I said, the majority of people going to see these video game movies are people that have bought the movie or bought the game, and they're going to bring their friends. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to say, hey, this video game was amazing and they're making a movie out of it. Let's go see it. And it's going to go and it's going to go and it's going to go. And if it does not appease the fans, they're the ones that are going to tell, well, now the internet that it's a terrible movie, and people are going to take word of mouth of that, and they're not going to go see the movie, whether it's good or not. Much like the first Resident Evil movie, has nothing to do with Resident Evil aside from zombies and the Umbrella Corporation.
And the Dobermans. The Dobermans.
Yes, and undead Dobermans and the liquor. But it was a fun movie. It was a very well acted, well paced action movie that had nothing to do with Resident Evil, but it had those things that the fans wanted to see. It took place, the beginning took place in a mansion, which was the first game took place in a mansion. It had an underground thing that was in Resident Evil 2. It had the T-virus, it had the zombies, it had things that people wanted. Unlike Super Mario Brothers, which they just destroyed and put names in there to make it seem like, oh, this is the Mario Brothers movie. And because the fans didn't like it, it ultimately failed. And that's all I'm asking is fan service. You got to throw more in than just a ba-bomb to make a video game adaptation appeal to its fans. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to appeal to the fans, and then you want to appeal to the general public, because the fans will eat it up no matter how many millions they spend on it. It'll gain its money back, I guarantee it, especially with AAA titles.
But you can still make a bad movie and completely cater to the fans. Take World of Warcraft, for example.
Absolutely. And World of Warcraft, I had in another list that I didn't do. The problem with World of Warcraft is there's too much lore. There's too much stuff for the fans. And they tried their best to appeal to that, but it shouldn't have been a single movie. It should have been, multiple movies or a series.
Yeah, I could see that. But they did cater to the fans, and the fans hated every minute of it.
Mm-hmm.
They agreed that it was garbage. So.
Yeah, but it was also an abbreviation of what it was. I mean, Warcraft has been around since the early 90s, and they just didn't do enough for the fans, I don't think. World of Warcraft is the opposite of what I was talking about. It's too much fan service. In fact, I think it was all fan service and no substance. There's got to be a balance, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, we agree with that.
Okay.
All right. So that's what's wrong, or that's what we need to do to fix it. So
that's a fix.
Okay. So I believe you're also including a list. Is that right? Tell us a little bit more.
Well, I mean, it's just points that I'm making. My second idea to help fix video game adaptations is animation. Just because you have a huge budget and you have the actors and talent and things, doesn't mean that you have to make everything live action. I don't understand the need to make live action. Case in point, the Mortal Kombat animated movie that just came out. It made the original Mortal Kombat movie so much better because you can do more in animation. It doesn't have to be hand-drawn animation. It could be CG animation, and it has a big following. Not even just for like family movies. If you look at like Shrek, not necessarily made for kids, but not made for adults. There is some adult humor, but if you put in like if you make R-rated animated movies, people will go. I mean, look at Heavy Metal. It's a cult classic.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. So, animated, don't be closed-minded. Animated is basically what I'm hearing. Is that right? Don't be okay.
Just like the MCU, not everything has to be live action, because sometimes live action doesn't work. Luckily for the MCU, Disney, can throw out billions and billions of dollars and make things work mostly in their favor. But other studios don't have that kind of budget, and they can reconcile that with using animation. Like Warner Brothers would be dumb, since they've stopped they ended their DC universe animated stories. They ended it just recently with the last movie, the Justice League Dark movie that I reviewed last time. They would be dumb to not continue on with the Mortal Kombat origin story movies.
Okay.
I just think you got to be careful, because yes, you can put that movie that you saw out in the theaters and do more animation, but I don't necessarily think you're going to get away with doing all R-rated movies when they're animated.
Well, I mean, they don't all have to be R-rated. I'm just saying that there's an audience out there for it, and it makes it easier to follow the source material.
Yeah, it does. But a lot of people would rather see it come to life.
I understand that.
Because
like I said,
essentially your video game is a cartoon. I mean, they're not real people, so you want to see your video game come to life and played out.
I can see your point on that. I'm just saying animation is a good way to fix, say, like we brought up Wing Commander before, they couldn't make the Kilrathi look like they want to. They did it animated. They could have, even if it was just cell animation, even if it was like Don Bluth, because he did Titan AE in 1999, and it was basically better than all the other sci-fi movies that's come out in most of the 90s movies.
Yeah,
and that was like full cell animation.
You could do animated Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the only way you could get away with that.
Yeah. Well, same with Mortal Kombat, unless you're, I guess, James Wan.
Yeah, but it's R, so.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I was waiting to see if Roman had anything else to say.
Oh, he was going to say anything else.
Okay. Another thing, just stay true to the games. Writers for video games spend countless hours, countless time, and all of their talent just to make a compelling video game. There's absolutely no reason to change it. You're making a cinematic story that the only difference between a video game and a movie is it's interactive. And if you follow a story, say Last of Us, which I don't believe that they should make a movie because it's already been made. It's made on the PlayStation 3 and on the PlayStation 4. There's nothing more that they need to do with Last of Us. Aside from making a series, which I just saw that HBO is doing a series, which they can do because, world building, they built worlds around it. But there's no reason to make a Last of Us adaptation movie because it's already been made, and you can watch it. You can watch it and be a part of it if you want to. And if you don't want to watch it, it's free to watch on YouTube.
If you don't want to watch it, it's free to watch on YouTube?
No, if you don't want to play it,
oh, you said if you don't want to watch it. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. If you don't want to play, you can just YouTube and you can click on the cutscenes from Last of Us. The same thing that you can do for the cutscenes for Arkham Asylum and some of the other great titles out there for video games. You can just see the cutscenes. Final Fantasy VII cutscenes, the lore. So
there doesn't need to be adaptations for movies that have full-on stories. And if they do, just keep it the same. There's nothing they need to change. There's nothing that needs to change to convert it from a video game to a AAA movie.
Okay. Well, on that note, on that point, so why would I invest my 20-something bucks to see your film on a video game that I can just go to YouTube and do a cutscene, see the 4 hours worth of cutscenes?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. You don't have to. Like Last of Us.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a Last of Us movie. There are games, say like Asteroids, Centipede. They all have stories. If you ever bought the game and read through the manual, there are stories that have been written about these games. Make those into movies. Those haven't been made into a cinematic experience, and just stick to the storyline that they created, because writers have created this. It's like adapting a book.
I just got this great image of Asteroid, just the little ship moving left to right. Yes. Let's put an hour and a half worth of that. That's it. Just the ship moving left to right, and just a...
Yeah, there's actual backstories to those games. Back in the Atari days, you had to use your imagination. Also, like, say, Super Mario Brothers. They still haven't made a decent adaptation of Super Mario Brothers, and there's no reason not to. There's lore involved in that. There's whole world building involved in that, and you can take bits of that and make it into it instead of whatever the hell the movie was.
I disagree. The cartoon, the 1988-87 cartoon that actually have live action scenes with,
Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah, Captain Lou Albano as Mario. Very good. I for years I loved Lou Albano doing the Mario song at the beginning.
Mario, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That was a great episode.
But that's also a TV show. That's not a major big budget movie.
They need to do Mario Party, but turn it into a horror Mario Party.
Hell yeah! It'll be like Escape Room.
Mm-hmm.
Or Roman's favorite, Saw 2.
Yes. Completely underrated. Probably one of the best Saws. One of the best. Yeah.
And then you could have like Bowser at the end go, "Game over."
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Is that all you got on the table, Adam?
Yeah. I was going to talk about casting to the character, but we already talked about that. So my dissertation's over. All
right. So, Alison, real quick before we move on to talking about the website, closing points on video game adaptations. I know it's not really your thing. Would that be accurate for us to walk away on?
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, a movie's a movie, but every movie that they put out, regardless of if I know the video game or not, has been kind of garbage. So, and I think they have a stigma to them right now that nobody can make a decent video game adaptation. So I don't know, maybe my man Eli Roth will. But again, I'm going to go into that movie not knowing a damn thing about that either. So I'm just going to go in from a movie point.
Well,
maybe I will rent my pirate movie because I am a Michael Fassbender fan. And now that I know that there are pirates, maybe I will enjoy that movie.
He's not a pirate.
It's a space pirate. No, he's not in space.
No, he's just an assassin.
He's an assassin and he kills pirates.
There's no pirates.
You said there was a pirate.
Yeah, in the games.
Okay. But I do love Mortal Kombat. I saw Mortal Kombat in the theaters like 5 times. I loved that movie. It was so cheesy, but I really liked it. So I am looking forward to Mortal Kombat. So if I had to pick a favorite video game movie, it'll be Mortal Kombat.
All right.
Here's one last thing that I have to say. In the 90s and in the early 2000s, comic book movies were terrible. Aside from a couple of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, as the exception, most of the movies were terrible. Steel was bad. Spawn was bad. Ghost Rider was bad. Punisher, the Dolph Lundgren Punisher, was bad. Those got a better a better resurgence thanks to Paramount Pictures and Jon Favreau when he did the first Iron Man movies, or first Iron Man movie. That can happen with video games, and I really hope that Eli Roth and James Wan are the people that can bring this forward, because I still have faith in video game movies.
Well, in terms of some optimism, because we kind of touched on it in the game, Sonic the Hedgehog did very well.
Sonic was very good. So was Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, and those are two movies that we've covered previously on the podcast. But to Allison's point, she hasn't really seen a good one. But I was just thinking in the back of my head, you guys both gushed, I believe, very well over Sonic. And I've recently seen it, and I thought it was very true to the source material. I thought it explored a new world, but still being very true to the character.
And it had fan service.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. I forgot about Sonic. I think because I'm thinking of adult video games. That's the only reason why. Yes, you're correct. Sonic was good.
And another one that I was just thinking of right off the top of my head, Angry Birds. Angry Birds actually did very well to still explore that world that we know from Angry Birds, just being an app for Pete's sake.
And it was really animated.
Yeah. And it made it to something to be very enjoyable and something that I think really stands on its own, but still good to its source material.
Yeah.
So those are some two interesting points. But we're kind of near the end of today's presentation, so I'm going to actually hand the reins over to Alison. Let's take this nice, really warm baton and hand it over to Alison.
Ew.
Yeah.
Baton is still warm after all this time.
Warm.
It did not have that smell when I handed it to Adam, FYI. So why don't you tell us a little bit about our website? What can the viewers who are watching this YouTube video enjoy by our website? What are our expectations? Tell us a little bit about it, if you don't mind.
How do we enjoy our website?
Huh?
How do we enjoy our website?
You go to it at cinemadnesspodcast.com. After months and months of trying to figure out website, Adam and I know nothing about it, and we had a tutorial and we learned how to build a website, and we're actually proud of it. It's simple, but you can see all of our past episodes from YouTube and then listen to all of the ones that we did pre-quarantine. We have like little bios of each other and, fun facts and questions that we all asked, we all answered. There's going to be reviews. There's all of the top 10 lists that we've done. No, we didn't do 10 lists, did we? Top five lists. It's been so long since we've done those. They're all on there. How you can become a patron is on there. You can contact us and send us an email. That reminds me, I did a test one the other day and I don't know where it went. So maybe one of us should look in the email and see if it works. Pretty soon we'll have merchandise that you can buy. We're still working on it, but we really wanted to get it out and interact more with our people. And hopefully you enjoy it. And if you have feedback, let us know. I know that we're going to give Roman a spot so he can talk his little head off with reviews, because he's really good at writing things. Adam and Roman both are. I'm not. I'm better at speaking. I can't write reviews for crap, but they both can. And he can just maybe pop on Zoom. One of us can pop on Zoom and talk to you guys about stuff when things pop in our head, when we see a movie that we don't want to wait a week to review on the podcast. So we will be posting new material all the time, and we will share it with you on our Facebook page to remind you to go visit our website.
Thank you, Alison. Appreciate it. So now we have a website that we can add on to our contacts. What are other ways that people can follow us? Alison, I'll take it back to you.
Cinemadness Podcast on Instagram. We have that email address that I talked about that I don't know who's manning that, but it's cinemadnesspodcast@yahoo.com. Oh, Roman, do you see my email in there? It should just say test. We have a Twitter. Twitter is CinemadnessP. I think that's it.
Facebook is Cinemadness.
Yeah, Facebook.
And don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/cinemadness. You can be a member of Listening Land. You get yourself some cool perks, and it helps us with every dollar that you that you send us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're worth it. We're like Mabel.
A special shout out real quick to our patron, Ms. Alyssa, who I believe you mentioned her, but she was a real helping hand to launching the website. And she's also a patron as well to us. So we really appreciate everything that you do for us, Ms. Alyssa. Thank you very much. We look forward to having you on someday and talking some movies. So that would be really awesome. But I believe that's all we got. Adam, why don't you send us away?
Okay. I had fun talking about video games and speaking on how to fix them. Once again, I don't like speaking ill of movies, but something has to be done because we need better things for the niche market that is video game movies. And thank you for listening to me talk about it, and thank you Alison and Roman for giving me more things to think about aside from my own opinions. And we hope to hear more about what you think about ways that you see and want to fix video game movies. And we will see you next time.
Yeah. And real quick, if you like this video, please subscribe. Click the subscribe button down below. Comment below. We'll be happy to read and interact with you as well. Thank you so very much. That's all I got today. Thank you so very much.
I don't fart.
Nope.
All right, guys. I'm ready.
I never heard you fart.
I think so.
Really? It must have been in my sleep. How about you, Roman? Roman's just like, yeah, what did I walk into?
Exactly. No, I've never heard you fart, Alison.
All right. It's because I don't.